Hi, I'm David Pajo, and I'm at Amoeba Records in Los Angeles, and this is What's in My Bag. Let's start with some metal. This is Impetuous Ritual. I think it's two of the guys from an Australian death metal band called Tortoise. It's kind of like Incantation, early Incantation or something. It's just really dark and has that murkiness that you don't really find, I feel like, in current death metal or that sort of world. So anyway, I really like Impetuous Ritual. I actually went to a death metal festival in Texas just to see them. It was their only show in America, and I went out there for this festival. It was great. And they didn't disappoint. Booker T, you can't really go wrong with him. I've always liked Steve Cropper, the guitar player, but I've really started trying to sit down and figure out some of his parts, because he actually reminds me of Andy Gill a little. He does a lot of just sharp accents. It's an old-fashioned style that I really like. It's really effective, you know, to keep a song propulsive, you know. You don't have to do all this fancy show-off stuff. You can just, you know, kind of hit these accents in just the right spot and it'll swing, I feel like. So yeah, this is part of my love for Steve Cropper, really. And Blue Cheer, another band you can't go wrong with. These 67 demos are awesome. It's really rough, but they are on fire. I mean, some of it's as noisy as anything in the experimental section. You know, it's like full on, just, I can't even tell what's happening because the amps are so loud and fuzzed out and the drums are just washed out. I really like his, you know, his manic guitar playing, and just, he does stuff that I've never heard anybody else do. Oh yeah, Cant Singles. I feel like I'm just kind of grabbing obvious stuff, but it's, I like mainstream music. You know, when I was a kid, actually in Boston, when I was in Cambridge for a summer, I remember waiting to see Black Flag play at the Rat, and you know, for some reason I went to shows at like 10 in the morning and just hung out because I didn't know any better. But anyway, I met this guy. He was talking about the B-52s and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I like the B-52s, okay, but I don't really like music that everybody else listens to. You know, I was 16, and he was like, well, you know, if you think about it, that's kind of just as stupid as liking music just because no one else likes it. And I was like, you know, like, I was glad he said that, because I'm unashamed about loving, you know, Beyonce or something. You know, like I love it all. It's all just music. But anyway, Cant Singles. There's nothing I can say about Cant. We all know they're great. And kind of the same about Moondog. I feel like I have a bunch of Moondog albums, and I don't know the names of any of them. I just listen to them all, and they all seem kind of the same to me. But I'm almost always in the mood to hear it. But yeah, he definitely let his freak flag fly freely on the streets of New York, which is, you know, he got a lot of hate, I'm sure, in New York for dressing like that. So I have a lot of respect for those kind of weirdos. Yeah, and some more Steve Cropper. I'm glad that I got into Steve Cropper kind of at a young age, because growing up in Kentucky, there's, you always heard country music growing up, and when, I hated it because you have to when you're young, and I didn't embrace it until later, but there's a guy in Louisville who's passed away now, but his name was Winko Bannon, and he was a great guitar player, only played a telly. He was like the Keith Richards of Louisville, really good. He was in punk bands in the 70s in Louisville and stuff. I asked him for guitar lessons once, and he saw me play, and it was a huge compliment, but he's like, you don't need lessons from me. But he was like, but you should listen to Steve Cropper. And yeah, and at first I didn't get it, because I was like, he's not doing any flashy soloing, like I can't, how is he a good guitar player? And then I fell in love with Booker T and all that stuff. So. Yeah, and Funkadelic, you can't really go wrong. I guess I grabbed this because I told you John King was been staying with me, and we've been working on music, and we've taught, for some reason, Funkadelic Parliament has come up a lot when we're working on music. I had to grab the Children's Hour album just because it's a recording I did over 20 years ago now. I played with Children's Hour in the early 2000s because they were supporting Zwan when I was in a band with Billy Corrigan, and but they're a folk duo. Like she used to be studied opera singing, and they both worked at the Chicago School of Folk Music and stuff. So they didn't really have any interest in rock and roll. It was, but they were playing huge stages all of a sudden. So I told them I'd play drums with them. I loved the songs, and at the I was like, we have to record this, and then go our separate ways because we had other stuff to do. And so we stopped in Kentucky at the end of the tour and recorded really fast. Finally, it's seeing the light of day, and it has this song that's really one of the sweetest songs I've ever heard. It's called "Dance with Me," and it's sort of I think Andy described it as it was a dance song for wallflowers, which is really what it is. It's hard to get guys on the dance floor sometimes, especially if they suffer from shyness, so I could relate with that one. So that's my take in I really do feel like I could have spent a long time, just in one section. So thanks for having me out here. It's been probably one of the best mornings.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you for coming in.
Of course.
We're so happy to have you.
Yeah.
Amoeba.